Hello. Hello. I hope everyone is great. I'm gonna try and get this wrapped up quick since there isn't much light left. And I really just wanted to talk about something that it's been placed on my heart, that this is like a pain for some people. And I really just needed to get into it. And it's kind of piggybacking off my last video, which I spoke about how, let's see, what was the last video? Oh, how to cope with depression. Now, this one is going to be for people who may have someone, a loved one, a daughter, a son, a best friend that might be, struggling with depression, suicidal ideation, and you just don't know what to do. I know that that's generally like a lot of people, they just don't know what to do. Let me try to sit this up here. Hope it doesn't fall. Your girl is super ghetto, okay? I need lights. I need fucking stand. I need everything. Okay. We're gonna pray that stays there. Anyway, so today, I just wanted to get into some things that you can do, and I'll share it in the form of what has helped me, what has helped me, what is helping me, and if you are someone who is in a position that can help someone in any way, shape, or form, please do that. So let's see, where do I begin? I was going to have some notes for this, but time, and I can just kind of have this conversation with you guys also. And you can leave in the comments some ways or things that you noticed have helped you when you were depressed. How has someone ever aided your pain, whether it was just listening to you, or I don't know, maybe buying you some groceries, maybe, helping ease whatever it is. See, because depression and suicidal ideation, like I mentioned this in my last video, it's multifaceted. Okay, it's something that's multifaceted. So I want to get into some of that. Thank you for coming in and liking the video. I see someone came in already. I need to give it I'm going to give it like 30 more seconds, and I'm going to get into this because this light is about to go. I guess, I'm going to start with one of the recent bouts I've had with depression and what helped me. So recently, it just seemed like everything just like crashed and burned at the same time. And the reason why people are depressed, like I said, is several. So if, let's say you have a friend, and you really don't know how you can help, you can start by asking them, is there anything that I can do to help, ease your pain? But after you ask that question, you might want to follow up with some additional questions, because I'll even say for me, what I've noticed is like whenever people say, oh, like, is there anything I can do? Or, hit me up if there's something I can do. Generally, it's like there's a shame that comes with asking for help to begin with. Okay, so instead of telling the person, hit me up, or if you need anything, like instead of doing that, just offer the help. So, like, for example, I had someone, this was sometime last year, this person literally sent me like 3 months worth of groceries. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, they saw my post and they was just like, you know, I can send you some groceries or whatever. And here's the thing. It's like, see, you don't always have to send people money. It's generally what I've seen primarily with individuals who fall into a suicidal place. Like every time I've seen it, it's if it's not an emotional, like something that's emotional, it's generally tied to the fact that you've been in like this desperation survival state for so long. And so when you're in that state of survival and like desperation, you can't see no way out of it. You know what I mean? Like, so, I've been in those situations and you do need help getting out of them. Because if you have no one to ask for money, if you're not employed, you know, if you've been unemployed for a very, very long time, that's also like a barrier to even getting a job. Okay. There's a whole lot of shit you got to go through. You know what I mean? You got to talk to social workers. You got to make sure that like they're not going to discriminate against you because you have a mental illness. It's so much. Like, it's so much. And so, what are you going to do? You're either going to steal what you need, or like these are the things I want people to start thinking about. To everyone who's never been depressed or, debilitated by it, or anyone who has never been out of work because of a mental health issue, like, I need for like everyone to realize that when you are painted inside of this corner, there's no way out of it without help. Now, if financial issues is not the problem for you, you know what I'm saying? That's a different story. But for me, it's always been financial. It's always been the ability to keep my life cohesive. And that really can become draining. And so anytime anyone has ever helped me, like it wasn't even money. A lot of the times it was just resources. You know what I mean? Like, we all need food every day. We all would like a roof over our head of some sort, whether you're living in your car, a hotel, an apartment, like whatever. Food and shelter is basic. And so if you're struggling with that, just the basic, like, if you're constantly on that cycle of like just poverty, it like there has to come a point, like something has to give. And so it was always the kindness of other people, and to be honest, it was always strangers. you know if it wasn't my mom or my dad, God rest her soul, it was complete, like, I mean, people that would just come up to me on the street very literally and hand me money, or buy me a MetroCard, or buy me groceries. People on social media I've never met ever. Like, this happened to me recently, when I was going through a really dark time. I didn't ask this person. I did not ask them. They just offered. Like, do you need, like, what do you need? I can send you some money or whatever. These things, right? Everybody has their opinion on all of this, you know, um, why they don't help people, or, people are just really, really funny with money, and really, that's just a very, very touchy topic. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to say that I know that there's goodness in this world because, like I said, 98% of everything I have and have had has been given to me through pure kindness. All the clothes I have, anything you see me with, anything from the non-essentials like weave and makeup and all that play stuff down to literally the clothes I wear on my back every day has come from gifting, a thrift shop, like all like this. Okay, the life of someone who is chronically like mentally unstable, okay, I need for people to realize that your life is going to look different. So like if it was not for the kindness of others constantly giving me things just off the strength of God knows what, I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't like, and that's what I need for people to realize is when you're incapable of keeping that ship afloat, it's going to look a mess and eventually it's going to sink. If you're looking for a job, right? So like I'm out here looking for work and all kinds of things, right? And like I said, you need money to make money here. Okay, that's another thing. That's another mind fuck. It's like, okay, now I need to buy work clothes. I need to have money for transportation to get to these jobs. I gotta feed myself. I gotta look presentable, right? There's hygiene. Like there's all kinds of factors that I need for people to realize has to come into play before a person can even get up and say, I'm gonna work. What? Wait, I don't even got food in my fridge and what? It's like you're in this dark hole and you just can't, like, you can't see a way out. This is where all the robbery and stealing and all this comes from. It's like, please, somebody tell me where is the way out of it without having to do some illegal shit or do like something has to give somewhere at some point for individuals to come out of that. And if you have no way or like each turn you're going to, you can't find a door or find some leverage ever, right? Like this is years. Like I said, this has been my reality for years. And so I know that I have a really important message to share here, especially with regards to the mental health community and how people view mental health and what people actually need. You know, I remember telling my social worker one time, like this, none of this is helping me. None of this is helping me. And so I just find it interesting that I have to make a video like this, you know. Just offer the help. Ask them if they have groceries. Ask them if they need help preparing their food. There are times I can't even cook for myself, let alone go out and buy it. Like, okay, so ask them if they need, help cooking. Ask them, do they have hygiene products? Ask them, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to give nobody money, but you can share resources with them. Do you have clothing that you don't want anymore that you can possibly give away? Do you have just like, I don't know, any kind of technology that you might not be using that might be able to help this person? You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, these are some of the things that you can do, and it does help. All the help I have received up until this point has gotten me here. Without any of the help I've ever gotten, okay, I would not be here. You understand what I'm saying? I would have been pushed to do something way more extreme. I've been on that path already. You understand? I've been on that path already. So this is why I say there's no difference between me and somebody who's locked up for whatever crime. There's no difference. I very literally with my own eyes seen what leads people to killing themselves. And majority of the time it has to do with money problems. Majority of the time it has to do with money problems. And I'm not telling nobody to be out here and try to solve nobody's money issues. I'm just trying to paint a picture of where this desperation and the pain comes from, how you can literally just alleviate it, you know what I mean, a little bit. And I'm also going to again leave the video of how to talk to a depressed person below this video still, again, because that also helps. You can listen. And if you don't have the resources to help this person, you might know somebody. I had someone give me a whole huge bag of clothes years ago. This was years ago, but I'll give you an example. A whole entire bag of clothes, suits, like shit that I needed, and it all fit me. So, like, because I don't, you know what I'm saying? That was super helpful. You know what I mean? Because again, like I said, if you're trying to work or do anything, you need clothes. You need a Metro card to get there. You need to pay for food. Like, to even work, you need money. So do you see how this system just, it keeps you. And so I just know that something as basic as seeing if the person has basic resources can be helpful. You know what I mean? Don't ask them if they need it. Just offer it. Just offer it. Because you do feel some kind of way asking people for money or just outright asking them, like, nobody likes that. No, nobody enjoys that. Call it ego, pride, whatever. Just offer it. And like I said, if it were not for the kindness of literal complete strangers on social media, this world is weird, but there's loving people here. And it doesn't take much. What's a little bit to you, like $5 to you is nothing, but to somebody who literally has zero income, that could be dinner for 2 days. I'm serious. Okay, like $1 to you, like something so bare minimum like that, to somebody who has no income, something that costs $1 is too expensive. Like, I really am trying to paint the context for you so that you can really understand what I'm saying. Something that costs $1 is too expensive. Understand, if you don't have the money to get something, it's too expensive. It's never the price. So think about it in that way. You know what I'm saying? Ask the person, you know, if there's some kind of work maybe that you know of that this person could possibly do, because everybody's depression is different. Like for me, you know, I can still work sometimes, but it's different. You know what I mean? See if there's anything that you know that this person could do. Ask your job, is there any kind of work for it? Like, there are things that we can do to support and help each other here. Because we're not going to make it if we don't. Because what I see, eventually, everybody going to be fucking depressed, okay? And we are all going to need each other. There's going to be a day where you are going to need somebody, whether you have depression or not. Whether you are broke because of an illness or because you lost your job or because the economy dropped, like whatever it is, We are all going to experience that low at some point, and it's not going to feel good. So the least we can all do is to make sure that our friends and our loved ones and people who are susceptible to mental health problems, that you're checking up on if they have what they just need to barely survive. Because you know what? I hear a lot of people with this enabling word, and that shit gets on my last fucking nerves. Because you know what? Most people don't want to be homeless in the street, okay? There are people who choose to be homeless. There are people who choose a lot of things here. But everybody's not going to fit within this system. That's when it started to dawn on me, like, well, if there's all this help, why is there so many people on the street and in shelters? Like, why is there this massive decline in society of, like, people not, like, there's something wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to fit in the system. Either you fit into it and find a way, or your ass is homeless on the fucking street. That is the end. And then once you're there, there's no coming back from that. So when I see people talking about get a job, like I saw somebody tell a fucking homeless person, get a job, I could have blacked out. Like I literally could have spazzed. Like what in the fuck? This is how you know there's a veil over people's eyes. Because how the fuck are you going to tell somebody that's homeless to get a job? Bitch, you need an address first. I have an apartment and there's still barriers for me to even work right now. So like somebody who's homeless got even more barriers before they can start working. So how are you going to tell somebody to get a job that's homeless? And the whole outlook of people who are homeless or in shelters has changed dramatically. This has nothing to do with laziness. I'm sure if most of those people could pull their fucking mental health together to work and be able to sustain their own rent or their house or to take care of themselves, I'm sure they would, because I speak to a lot of people and they do. But again, these fucking barriers that are around their life is like, how I'm getting out of this without robbing somebody or selling my hat. Like, ain't nobody giving you money. Ain't nobody giving you nothing. People think you a fuck up, right? They think you a fuck up and lazy, and they don't want to enable you, so they don't help you. They don't. Like I said, the help I've received from I'm talking about complete strangers, blows my fucking mind. Blows my mind. We have to start see, I consider family, like how I see family is just totally different. Like you can be blood related to people. All of us have blood relations to people. But when it comes to like the whole definition of family, like you really got to start analyzing the definition of that. Like really start looking at it. Because what I've been shown from my life, right? And this is not, I know I have a lot of family that, like, I know I have a lot of different people that watch my videos, right? And I, for one, don't ever want anybody to feel like they are obligated. Nobody's obligated to do shit for you. So, like, I don't even want this to even sound like some fucking, like, pity thing. Okay? Nobody's obligated to do shit for you. Your parents bring you in this world. They're obligated to you till you're 18 or whatever, and that's it. Nobody's obligated to do shit for nobody. So I just want to say that. Now, I'm going to continue. I'm bringing this up to say that I've been shown something that was helpful, which was, wow, I don't have to, like, there are people in this world outside of my family that are helping me in ways that my mother used to help me. R.I.P. I mean, people helping me in those kind of ways that don't even know me, probably never even met me in real life. So my idea of family has shifted, not because of any ill feelings, just that life has shown me that, wait, there's a lot of love here. And I just want to let whoever's watching this that has never had depression, or has no reference of what this life is, and trying to get through this life with mental health challenges, is like, if there is anything that you can do, offer to cook them groceries, offer to get them some, ask them if they have the basic necessities. Maybe you can recommend them to somewhere, where they can get stuff. Like, I've gotten toiletries and stuff like that and things like this from, social workers might send me to a center or something. Like, there are ways, okay? Because a lot of the time, see, someone who's depressed might not even have enough energy to even think about what they want to eat, but they haven't eaten. So sometimes just getting them something like to eat without, like, because like your mind is just, there's nobody home. So I'm losing a light, and I hope I covered all my bases and points here, because this is just a really, this topic it's something I'm going to be talking about a lot this year. Let's see something. This is definitely a topic I'm going to be talking about a lot this year. So let me know if any of this makes any sense. Like I said, tell me how someone has helped you out of a situation. Like I said, there's so many situations at this point that I've been helped out of, that I can't even. I'm about to end this. There's so many situations that I've been helped out of. I mean, with just the basic. And so I hope this video gave you a different perspective on just depression and what that life is like every day. It's like a battle every day. And a part of me knows, you know what I mean, that eventually, I will be okay. I will be able to manage my life, how I would like to. But I just know that, my story is different. My life is different. I have different issues. You know what I mean? But I know I'm not alone. I see a whole lot of people in my situation. How they glam it up is how they glam it up. But I see a lot of people who are in my situation. And it's a downward spiral. You know what I mean? Because once you're in that desperation stage, like, you don't even own your consciousness anymore. Like, you're gonna get pulled into all kinds of shit. It could be prostitution, and then that's dangerous for your safety, you know. I'm not gonna say I was doing prostitution before, but I've been in situations before, just trying to eat. You know what I'm saying? And situations got dangerous, and it was just like all because. So this is why I feel like if it's placed on my life to make millions of dollars in this life, there's a lot of things that I see that needs help. if I ever make it to a certain income in this place, I have a lot of work and giving to do, because life has given me so much. I would not be alive if it were not literally for the kindness of strangers. Buy someone's lunch. Like, instead of buying some, like, fucking, there's kids I see outside that don't have socks on. And the way, like, it's so much disparity around me that I can't. If I won $1,000,000 today, I would still have the same mind frame. Like I don't need anything to be happy here. I just don't want to be on this fucking wheel cycle of depravity. I don't need any of this shit. None of it. Because I know my wealth is internal. I know my wealth is internal, so I don't need a whole bunch of shit here. I really don't. And I'm not trying to say that to be like, to tell people like they shouldn't want what they want or shop or do whatever, but I'm just saying I don't need that here. You know what I'm saying? I see too much disparity around me to be fucking worried about being fly. But I think my neighbor needs some help before I go buy these $200 fucking shoes from this corporation that's enslaving me. But nonetheless, that's how I feel about things. I can't be out here worrying about flossing for who? I hope this video, because it's difficult doing lives. I never know what I'm gonna say. Shit just comes out the way it comes out. So, y'all, please have some compassion. Have compassion for the people you see out in the street begging. Have compassion for street hustlers that are selling stuff. Have compassion for somebody that just lost their job or who has not been working. Why don't you ask them why they haven't been working? Why don't you ask them? Because I'm pretty sure they have... The noise is just... I'm sure they have a reason. So the judgment has to stop. We need compassion. Nobody wants to be in the situation they're in. Nobody. And so this is why people go rob. Because people will rather go rob than go ask a family member or a friend or anybody for $10 or $20 or $100 or whatever it is. People would rather go risk their freedom and go to jail. Like, think about that. Think about that. Because of this idea, like, the shaming has to end. Oh my God. The shaming has to end. Because it doesn't make anybody feel better. It actually amplifies the suicidal ideation, if you must know. I've had situations... Oh my God. I can't deal. Like, I live next to a bridge. Anyway. I can very literally remember a family member saying something about me and, like, I guess the fact of me not working. This was a few years ago. And I remember it cut so deep into my chest. Like, that shit cut deep. And I carried the pain of that for a very long time and didn't even really know how to react to the person any longer. It's just this whole mentality that people want to be lazy. or that people want to be. It's that literally threw me into suicidal ideation. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm a piece of shit. I'm nothing. I'm whatever. All right. So why the fuck am I here? Like, you say they're right. You believe them. You're like, they're right. Why the fuck am I here then? And this is why a lot of people off themselves. So instead of using your fucking judgments, how about you just wish them well, or ask them, or just say like, well, damn, I can't imagine that. That must be really painful. Instead of like empathy. It goes so far. Like, y'all don't know how far it goes. Nobody wants to live this life, okay? And hence why depression is rising, and it's just like we're all still in this fucking bubble of delusion. I guess I don't have anything else to say. This is a very touchy topic to me, and like I said, I'm going to be talking about this a lot more. So my channel might turn into a mental health slash, entertainment channel. Because I have a lot of things that I want to air out in regards to mental health and my perception and how I feel about what mental illness actually is. Please check my description box. I'm going to have my mental health playlist down there. And please check that out and share it. Subscribe if you want more videos like that, because there's a lot to talk about with this, okay? So I'm going to see you guys later. Thank you for stopping by, and let me know if this video hit home or if it was worth something.